systems that हमारे पास जो है अभी जो आप बता रहे हैं लार्ज सेम, इसके अलावा सिस्टम हम जो खरीद रहे हैं उसमें काफ़ी सारे ऐसे सिस्टम हैं जो यही काम कर सकते हैं जो आयरन डोम कर रहा है।
जिस तरह से इजराइल ने अपने दुश्मन लेबनान में जो हिजबुल्लाह के थे ठिकानों पर या उसके चीफ को मार गिराया मिसाइल के जरिए, क्या भारतीय वायुसेना के पास भी इस तरह क्षमता है?
क्षमता है या नहीं आपको पता होना चाहिए, हमने कर दिया है ऑलरेडी।
If you look at the Western countries, they give very alarming reports about the military growth of China.
One place we can positively say we are training much better than them. We have exposure much better than them. HAL has to keep the promise which they have made that we will be building it up to 24 aircraft per year. They have already got a third production line in place in Nasik. As far as Tejas Mark II and AMCA is concerned, they need to, we all need to learn our lessons what happened in Mark I, what all has caused the delays. Mark II is supposed to do its first flight next year, October. It is supposed to be inducted by 28 as per the timelines as of today. हमारी स्पेस बेस्ड चीज़ों की रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो प्रोग्राम SPS-3 प्रोग्राम अभी चल रहा है। नंबर ऑफ सैटेलाइट्स जो लॉन्च होंगे वो भी उस काम में हम लोग इसरो के साथ और स्पेस एजेंसी के साथ बातचीत और सहयोग कर रहे हैं। As 400 is concerned, we already have it operational with us. The three units have been delivered. The next 2 units have been promised next year. Just a question of naming ourselves Air and Space Force. I think in due course of time some decision will be taken on that. Airborne early warning and control system. We have a requirement for these aircraft because these are something which are like force multipliers. So we have 3 of them at the moment, the Embraer based AEW&C. We have a plan for 6 more. अगर हमें 25% से ज़्यादा एब्जॉर्ब करना पड़े तो क्या हम कर सकते हैं? हाँ, हम कर सकते हैं उसको भी। हमें we will be able to absorb more than 25%.
Sir, my question is, under your leadership, what is going to be your vision and priority for the Indian Air Force? Certainly, you have mentioned that the Air Force around the world, we are seeing challenging and interesting time for the Air Force. So, what is going to be your priority and vision?
I'll take on the one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your wishes first. So I think somebody had asked me this question a few days back also, and I had made it very clear that the organization is bigger than any appointment. So with just a change of chief, the priorities don't change. The priorities will still remain the same. We need to, like I said, we need to continue moving forward in terms of handling the current situation, finding some short-term solutions to the problems that we are facing in terms of maintenance and upkeep of our equipment. At the same time, progressing towards having equipment that can make us more self-reliant and Atmanirbhar. So that remains our priority as far as our equipment and weapon systems are concerned, and also focusing on individuals, focusing on putting the best person at the right job is something that we need to focus on in terms of extracting the best out of the equipment that we buy or the weapon systems that we have. So for that, identifying the individuals and training them well is something that we are looking at and we are progressing towards. Thank you.
Morning, this is Ajit Dubey from ANI, sir. Sir, you listed a long list of indigenous equipment that the Indian Air Force is buying, the LCAs, Mark IIs, AMCA, Kusha, Akash, MRSAM. Sir, can you give us an estimate that what would be the worth of the indigenous equipment that the Air Force would be procuring in next, say, 5 years? And sir, along with this, how do you see indigenization helping the Indian Air Force Armed Forces prepare for a situation like where we are seeing that in conflicts people are firing 200, 300 ballistic missiles in one night at the adversary. So how do you think indigenization is going to help with that, sir? Thank you very much.
When it comes to building the capacity, one is capability, other one is capacity. So building the capacity, it becomes important for our manufacturing agencies to come forward and increase their production rate. And when it comes to conflict situations, if you're relying on getting your weapons from outside, there will always be, different interests and changing interests, which can create a choke point for you. So if you need to actually fight the war the way you said, 200 to 300 missiles being fired in one day, you have to have them being manufactured in India. You cannot afford to have them being bought and rely on that supply chain. So from that point of view, it is imperative that we have these things being produced in India, and under some kind of confidence we should have that when we have to, because we can't be stocking up everything forever. These things will have life. You keep stocking up, then we'll have wastage. So you need to stock up for an immediate reaction and have a system in place where by the time you consume that stock, the industry is now producing at a rate which can continue giving you that weapon. As far as the next 5 years, what kind of expenditure we are looking at, I think Deputy Chief can answer that better.
For this year, we expect around, say, 56,000 crores towards capital, and allocation for the future years cannot be really forecast, but like the CS brought out, a lot of big ticket procurements, for example, the LCA Mark 1 Alpha, the second tranche, and maybe in future LCA Mark 2, and the other procurements of missiles and radar systems. These are the big ticket procurements. So we are expecting that we would be able to continue to grow our expenditure at a ballpark, maybe say 10% per year in future. But it is difficult to forecast. It is just a very, very approximate kind of an assessment. And you'll all know that the money doesn't go in one go. It is dispersed sequentially as the production takes place.
I saw Mr. Ganesh Bhatt was there. From the agencies first. So no more from agencies. I'll take on the next question.
Hello, sir. I am Ganesh Bhatt from INS. This side, sir.
Oh, there. There
Sir.
he is.
Sir, indigenous jet technology will bring what change in the readiness of Indian Air Force? Indigenous jet technology, sir, jet engine technology will bring what change in Indian Air Force?
Talking about jet engine. Yeah, so I think we all understand an aircraft has, one of the major component of any aircraft is the engine, and that is something which can really affect your serviceability, availability during war. So engine is being produced by very few countries in the world. Very few design houses or production houses for engine. Of course, production houses are more. Design houses are very limited as far as engine technology is concerned, and even those design houses don't give away the core competence or the key design features or key design elements of that engine to the production agency. So this is something which really can choke anybody's availability of weapon system or aircraft systems. So once we have engines being produced or engine being designed and produced in India, it will really change the way we look at things. Today for everything we have to look outside. Even if I have to get engines produced by HAL, HAL has to look outside for certain components, and that is something which can really hurt you at the time when you need the engines. So this is imperative that we develop this at a fast pace, come to a confidence that, okay, we have made one engine, designed and developed and made one engine, and now we can do more and more as per our requirement.
I saw last from PTI, Mr. Manas Bhuiya. After the agencies, we'll
Afternoon, sir. This is Manas Pratim Bhuyan from PTI, President of India. So what is your assessment about the overall situation in Eastern Ladakh, particularly China's aggressive infrastructure development that has been taking place for last 4 years? So how do you see the overall scenario vis-a-vis our preparation? And my second quick question is about, there have been concerns about depleting fleet of the fighter squadrons. So what is the status of the MRFA project? So it's seems it's stuck, so would like to have your response on that.
So as far as Eastern Ladakh is concerned, the situation remains practically same as it has been for last 1 year plus, except that we see the development of infrastructure on the other side has been fairly rapid. We are trying to match up with that. We are also upgrading our airfields. There are new airfields which are coming up in area like Neoma and all that. So that is being progressed and at a fast pace. We are also beefing up the capacities of the airfields which are already existing. Also, there are plans to utilize the civil infrastructure. There are these ALGs which are available in the central sector, which are being, we are in touch with the state governments to either take over those or at least having assurance that they will be available for our operations. So this is how we are handling the situation as far as infrastructure is concerned. And the second question was about depleting fighter strength, you said. MRFA, okay. So MRFA, the RFI was issued. We have got the response from everybody. We have made the requirements very clear. Now we are waiting for the response from the decision to be taken as to what route we will follow. At the moment, we are going to follow the DAP 2020 route, where the RFP will be issued, and hopefully we'll get the response fast, and we'll go ahead with this aircraft. So there is a requirement to have it make in India. That is something which we have very clearly stated in that the aircraft has to be made in India, and because of that, the people who have to respond have to find an Indian partner and make it happen that way. That is where we are.
Thank you, sir. I saw from Shivani.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shivani Sharma from India Today. First of all, congratulations as you get to live your dream, as you said.
Thank you.
So we are meeting at a time when the world is on the verge of another war, and the recent conflicts have seen the usage of non-conventional weapons, a lot of use of technology. So how do we learn and incorporate all this for the future wars that India might have to face, along with dealing with the challenges of the depleting fighter strength and the delays which you already mentioned?
So, the only way you can handle challenges of future is that you move forward. Like if non-conventional weapons are being used more and more, you need to find them available in your inventory, at the same time find counter to them. So non-kinetic means as well as non-conventional means have become an order of the day. So we are fully aware of that, and because of that we have been having competitions like Meher Baba competitions, where we develop in-house capability of drones. We've been developing and buying counter drone systems for the drone threat. As far as cyber security and information warfare is concerned, the efforts are on towards that. And challenges of depleting fighter streams, so there is no way we can do anything. It is not a short term that overnight we can buy stuff. It takes time. Not only just selection, but induction also takes time. And along with that, even if I induct, let's say, 2 squadrons or 3 squadrons suddenly, training takes time to be able to utilize them. So what we are focusing on at the moment is that to be able to fight with whatever we have immediately. And for that, the training becomes very important. So, and also preserving the assets that we have, how to use them in the correct manner. So that is something that is being, inculcated into people right down to the last man, that this is how we must do things.
We'll go to the Mr. Ajay Banerjee had raised the hand earlier.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, 12 o'clock to you. Sir, you have mentioned a long list of indigenous fighters to be made, the LCA Mark 1A, LCA Mark 2, the AMCA. A rough calculation says there would be around 400 fighters or 400 plus. The timelines of the Tejas Mark 1A we all know are delayed. Sir, what would be your plan B in case of a delay? And could you secondly give a timeline to the RFP of the MRFA which you just mentioned to Manas's question?
So, see, it is a known fact that Tejas has got delayed. There is no doubt in it. We all know it. And there is also promise that the production rate will be increased to 24 aircraft per year. If that promise is kept, I think the delays can be caught up with. Yes, the first aim is not to let our aircraft strength go down. That means as we are reaching obsolescence of certain aircraft, the aircraft should be inducted parallelly, so a number of squadrons remain at least not below 30. So HAL has to keep the promise which they have made that we will be building it up to 24 aircraft per year. They have already got a third production line in place in Nasik, which is yet to churn out an aircraft. As far as Tejas Mark II and AMCA is concerned, they need to, means we all need to learn our lessons, what happened in Mark I, what all has caused the delays, and make sure that those things are ironed out right in the beginning. You know, transfer of technology from a design house to a production house. Even if it is within India, because I was in that program, I know when Tejas was being produced by the overall division, or not overall division, the R&D division, and from there it went to production. There were hitches, the absorption took time, the absorption of technology took time. So that has to be parallelly achieved. Also, we need to look at even private players have to come in, because unless you have private industry coming in and chipping in, I don't think we can continue relying on only one agency, because HAL will also have its own limitation in terms of what it can do in a time frame. So with looking at the numbers that are involved, Mark 1As and expected Mark 2s and AMCA, we need to have private industry chipping in and coming in a big way to help out production challenges. So I cannot really lay down any timeline. You know, MRFE is needed as of yesterday. So very difficult for me to say some timeline. But yes, like Mark II is supposed to do its first flight next year, October. It is supposed to be inducted by 28 as per the timelines as of today. 27 December is supposed to be the end of R&D phase for Mark II, LCA Mark II. So we need to look at that these timelines are met. And if these timelines are met and MRFA is signed parallelly, I think we are okay. We are not too badly off. But if these timelines are getting pushed, then we need to look at alternatives.
Mr. Manish.
हाय सर, मैं मनीष हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। सर, रशिया यूक्रेन का वॉर हुआ तो आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ हम लोग काफ़ी आगे बढ़े और लगातार काम कर रहे हैं। इस समय के सिनेरियो में इजराइल, उसके बाद ईरान 200 मिसाइल्स के लगभग इजराइल पे आ रही है, लेबनान, ये पूरी कंडीशन जो है उसमें आयरन डोम का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस देखने को मिला। हमारी क्या तैयारी है अगर LRSAM, MRSAM और SRSAM को हटा के, क्योंकि इजराइल से बहुत बड़ा देश है हमारा, वाइटल इंस्टॉलेशंस बहुत हैं, थ्रेट असेसमेंट बहुत हैं, तो ऐसे में क्या आयरन डोम की हमें आवश्यकता है और अगर है तो इसकी हमारी तैयारी क्या है?
So the systems that हमारे पास जो है अभी जो आप बता रहे हैं LRSAM, इसके अलावा सिस्टम हम जो खरीद रहे हैं उसमें काफ़ी सारे ऐसे सिस्टम हैं जो यही काम कर सकते हैं जो आयरन डोम कर रहा है। सो एक कॉम्बिनेशन जो है इसका मिला के हमारे पास जो एयर डिफेंस वेपन सिस्टम होंगे वो फेयरली कॉम्पिटेंट होंगे। लेकिन हाँ, ये बात सही है कि नंबर्स हमको बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए होंगे इन टर्म्स अगर हमें सब कुछ प्रोटेक्ट करना है। सो अभी एट द मोमेंट हमारे पास जो नंबर्स हैं उससे पूरा देश जैसे कहें कि कहीं पे कोई भी मिसाइल नहीं गिर पाएगी, ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा। हमको अपने प्रायोरिटीज़ देखनी पड़ेंगी कि कहाँ पे हमारे वाइटल एरियाज़ हैं, वाइटल पॉइंट्स हैं जिसको हमने पहले प्रोटेक्ट करना है, उन पे वो लोग हमें ज़्यादा कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना पड़ेगा। और एज़ फार एज टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ कंसर्न, ये जो हमारे पास सिस्टम आ चुके हैं और जो अभी पाइपलाइन में हैं, जिनके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन हो रखे हैं, उनसे हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज वो टेक्नोलॉजी है कि हम इन चीज़ों को इंटरसेप्ट कर सकें।
I'll take it and in the sequence. So Snehesh had raised hand.
Snehesh Philip here from the print. So you had mentioned about the MRFA. This RFI came out much earlier, way back then, and the replies up. So when you say that a decision has to be taken on under which process it would be procured from, what decision is that, sir? And would it involve fresh trials and that we saw with the MMRCA thing? And do you have a preference for a particular? Are you looking at a G2G1 for a deal? Since we already operate the Rafales, the Navy is also ordering the Rafales. Are you looking at a more direct deal rather than going through this torturous, long-circuited route, sir?
So there are no preferences that we have. We have got a certain requirement. Certain QRs have been there, and those have to be met. We know our requirement, what kind of a aircraft we need immediately. And yes, we cannot say that I can only have one type of aircraft or one particular this thing. It is always advantageous to have lesser types of aircraft, because your that much more support you can go from one area to another, one base to another base. But there are no particular preferences that we have. We don't even have a preference for a particular process. The requirement is that whatever decisions we take, it should happen quickly, and we should be able to induct the aircraft as fast as possible. But at the same time, the aircraft should be made in India at least, so that we have the future secure. That is the only requirement that we have, that it should be a made in India aircraft.
You can pass the mic to Ms. Anjana.
First of all, sir, congratulations. Sir, I have two questions. पहला सवाल है सर हमारा स्पेस बेस्ड बैटल मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम जो एयरफोर्स का था, अभी ये प्रोग्राम किस स्टेज पर है, इसके बारे में सर थोड़ी सी डिटेल. और जिस तरह से सर इज़राइल और लेबनान का जो युद्ध हो रहा है, उसमें हमने देखा कि मिसाइल अटैक जो है वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले कर रहा है. तो ऐसे में हमारी मिसाइल्स को लेकर क्या तैयारियां हैं, एयरफोर्स की क्या तैयारी?
तो एज फार एज स्पेस बेस्ड सिस्टम्स आर कंसर्न, हमारी ये शुरू से वो हम ये कहते रहे हैं कि वायु और स्पेस, अंतरिक्ष और वायु के बीच में एक कंटिन्यूस वो है, इट्स ए कंटिन्यूम. एयर एंड स्पेस इज़ ए कंटिन्यूम. तो हमारे को जो रिक्वायरमेंट है एट द मोमेंट, जो हमारी स्पेस बेस्ड चीज़ों की रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो प्रोग्राम SPS3 प्रोग्राम अभी चल रहा है, जिसके अंतर्गत हमारे नंबर ऑफ़ सैटेलाइट्स जो लॉन्च होंगे, वो भी उस काम में हम लोग इसरो के साथ और स्पेस एजेंसी के साथ बातचीत और सहयोग कर रहे हैं. और कुछ जेफ स्पेस चैलेंजेस जो अराउंड 75-80 चैलेंजेस में से 25 चैलेंजेस भारतीय वायुसेना के थे, उसमें से 10 के और या फिर आई थिंक 11 के रिज़ल्ट अनाउंस हो चुके हैं. एंड 3-4 पर माह हम लोग उसके रिज़ल्ट अनाउंस कर रहे हैं. सो हमारा पूरा ये स्पेस बेस्ड एसेट्स को बढ़ाने का जो काम है वो इस समय ऑन है. उससे अलावा हमारे पास ट्रेनिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो हमारा जो सेंटर फॉर एयर वॉरफेयर कॉ है हैदराबाद में इंस्टीट्यूट, उसको हमने आइडेंटिफाई किया है एज अ सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस फॉर स्पेस. तो हमारी जो स्पेस बेस्ड ट्रेनिंग है, जो स्पेस एसेट्स को यूज़ करने की, स्पेस ओरिएंटेशन की, वो अब हम हमारे एयर वॉरियर्स को, ऑफिसर्स एयरमैन दोनों को वहाँ पे कराते हैं. उसका कुछ पोर्शन इवन एयरफोर्स एकेडमी में होता है, कुछ जैसे स्पेस बेस्ड मेट्रोलॉजी एंड कुछ पार्ट जो है वो वहाँ पे हैदराबाद में होता है.
I think time is running out. We'll take last two questions. Earlier hand was raised by Dinakar Perry. Second last row.
Sir, Dinakar here with the Hindu newspaper. Sir, couple of questions. One, where are you in terms of space? So where are you in terms of renaming the force as Air and Space Force, if you may ask? And the MTA, the medium transport aircraft, the tender has been out. The medium transport aircraft. So in terms of that, so have you identified, there was a study going on in the air headquarters on how to, go forward with that, what kind of capacities, etc. you require. So have you done that? Have you identified what and where, reorganizing your transport fleet going forward? Have you kind of finished the study? Where are you in that? And if you can give an update on the S400.
One question. Dinakar, one question. Time's up.
So S400 also.
Okay, so as far as medium transport aircraft is concerned, the fleet that is now aging is the AN-32 as well as IL-76. We need to find a solution to a replacement for these. So decision that has been taken is we will go for a common aircraft of 18 to 30 ton class, and so that for that the RFP has been issued. Now we have not identified, we have not shortlisted which aircraft will we be going in for, but RFP has been issued for 18 to 30 class aircraft, and as far as S400 is concerned, we already have it operational with us. The three units have been delivered. The next 2 units have been promised next year, and because of the Russia-Ukraine war, they got delayed because of some issues. Now they have promised us that next year both the units will be delivered, and we are looking forward to that.
Sandeep Bole had asked.
Then you asked too many questions.
Sandeep Bole.
So that is something that, like I said, we have taken on the mantle of being the lead service as far as space is concerned. We are training, and we are, it's just a question of naming ourselves Air and Space Force. I think in due course of time, some decision will be taken on that.
सर मेरा नाम संदीप है, न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। सर मेरा सवाल यह है कि एयरफोर्स हमेशा से ही इस तरीके के सिचुएशन में जब कहीं वॉर होती है तो वहाँ पे इंडियंस जितने भी फंसे होते हैं उनको इवैक्यूएट किया जाता है, क्योंकि अभी मिडिल ईस्ट के इलाके में लाखों इंडियंस हैं जो कि अगर एक्सकेलेट होता है तो जाहिर सी बात है कि उनके इवैक्यूएशन के लिए भी प्लान किया जाएगा। क्या किसी तरीके की प्लानिंग अभी फ़िलहाल एयरफोर्स इस सिचुएशन को देख के कर रही है, और क्या गवर्नमेंट भी क्या इन्वॉल्व हो रही है इस तरह की प्लानिंग में भी?
तो ये प्लानिंग हमेशा कभी कोई सिचुएशन डेवलप होती है तो प्लान तो रेडी कर रखने पड़ते हैं, बिकॉज सडनली हमें अगर ओवरनाइट कुछ सिचुएशन करना पड़ता है तो वो प्लान हमारे पास जेनरिक रेडी रहते हैं, बट फाइनलाइज तभी होता है जब उस सिचुएशन का पूरा हमारे को वहाँ का इंटेलिजेंस मिल जाता है कि वहाँ पे किस तरह का थ्रेट है, कैसा सिचुएशन है, क्या वहाँ पे हमारे पास सिविल एयरफील्ड्स हैं अवेलेबल जहाँ पे हमें लैंडिंग मिलेगी, या फिर हमें वॉर जोन में अंदर जाना पड़ेगा। कोई कई बार ट्रूस होता है बीच में, कोई लोग बमबारी बंद कर देते हैं कि इसमें जिन को अपने लोगों को निकाल सके। तो डिफरेंट सिचुएशन का डिफरेंट रिएक्शन होता है। तो ये प्लानिंग, ब्रॉड प्लानिंग हमेशा तैयार रहती है, लेकिन स्पेसिफिक प्लानिंग उसी समय करी जाती है जब वो सिचुएशन डेवलप हो जाए और हमें जब आदेश मिलता है कि ये करना है। और इसमें एयरफोर्स ही नहीं, इवन सिविल एयरक्राफ्ट भी यूज़ होते हैं कई बार, सिचुएशन पे डिपेंड।
Neelam Mathew.
Thank you, sir. Sir.
After this,
Neelam Matthews from Shepherd Media. Sir, what is the status of the AEWC? Are you concerned that they are aging? And what happened to the 320s that were supposed to be developed? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Airborne Early Warning and Control System. We have a requirement for these aircraft because these are something which are like force multipliers. So we have 3 of them at the moment, the Embraer-based AEWC. We have a plan for 6 more. We are calling it Mark 1A with the very minor changes in the equipment that is inside. And the idea is to buy these aircraft from Embraer and being modified by DRDO. The cabs will be doing the modification based on our own. So it is a proven design. It is a minimum risk involved and maximum output. So this is something we should be having this cleared by DAC very soon. This process. The second one is AEWNC Mark II, which is the Airbus based system, in which Airbus is we have the contract negotiations going on. CNC is going on at the moment with Airbus. So once that is over, then the contract, this is again the modification of the aircraft is by Airbus, and the equipment inside is being developed parallelly by the DRDO. So initial modification, the contract with Airbus is to be signed by DRDO. So that negotiations are at the moment on to come to the correct configuration as well as the price negotiations.
Last question, Mr. Poonam Pandey, last. Please hold on. The questions are in line.
Hi,
The last question, time is up.
सर मैं पूनम पांडे हूँ नवभा
मेरा पहला है तो कुछ क्वेश्चन एक्स्ट्रा मिलेंगे आपको.
सर मैं पूनम पांडे हूँ नवभारत टाइम्स से. आपने यस सर खड़े होंगे तो पीछे कैमरे में आ जाऊंगे. सर अग्निवीर वायु की आपने बात की. अभी 3 साल हो गए जैसा कि आपने मेंशन किया. आपका क्या फीडबैक है, क्योंकि डीएमए ने तीनों सर्विस से फीडबैक मांगे थे, और क्या 25% रिटेंशन एयरफोर्स की ज़रूरत को पूरा करता है? क्या आपने भी रिकमेंड किया है कि 25% से ज़्यादा अग्निवीर को रिटेन किया जा सकता है?
तो हमारा जो फीडबैक है अभी तक वो तो बड़ा पॉजिटिव है, फील्ड से भी और इन लोगों से बात करके भी. तो फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू देयर आर नो इश्यूज. एज फार एज हमें ये रिकमेंडेशन नहीं मांगी थी. हमें ये अगर हमें 25% से ज़्यादा एब्जॉर्ब करना पड़े तो क्या हम कर सकते हैं? हाँ, हम कर सकते हैं उसको भी. हमें वी विल बी एबल टू एब्जॉर्ब मोर देन 25%, बट द डिसीजन विल बी विद द गवर्नमेंट बिकॉज दे हैव टू सी हाउ टू मैनेज दिस पार्ट.
Mr. Rajiv, since you were so loud.
सर राजीव रंजन, एनडीटीवी इंडिया. मेरा सवाल है कि जिस तरह से इजराइल ने अपने दुश्मन लेबनान में जो हिजबुल्लाह के थे ठिकानों पर या उसके चीफ को मार गिराया मिसाइल के ज़रिए, क्या भारतीय वायुसेना के पास भी इस तरह की क्षमता है? जो हमारे आसपास कई सारे एनिमी हैं जिसको मार गिरा सकते हैं, तो कुछ है तो ज़रा प्लीज़ डिटेल में बताइए सर.
क्षमता है या नहीं आपको पता होना चाहिए. हमने कर दिया है ऑलरेडी. बालाकोट में क्या हुआ था? सो सब कुछ एग्जैक्टली सेम वाज डन. सो पॉजिटिवली है क्षमता. अब कहाँ किसको मार सकते हैं वो नहीं बताऊंगा मैं आपको.
Mr. Rahul.
Sir, a follow-up question on the LCA. You said that a lot, HAL, it is now for HAL to keep its promise on deliveries, and if it can deliver on time with 24 aircraft per year, then we can offset the delays. Sir, how confident are you that they will be able to deliver it in time? And number two, sir, are we even going to get the first LCA of the 83 in this financial year or not, sir?
I will not comment on that at all. It's not my domain.
Next.
Sorry, but it's not my domain.
इधर से
हाय सर, मधुरेंद्र दिस साइड फ्रॉम न्यूज़ नेशन. मेरा सवाल करंट वॉरफेयर से जुड़ा ही हुआ है. आपने जैसा कहा कि हमारे पास एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम तो है, लेकिन इतने एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम कैपेबल नहीं है. जिस तरह से इजराइल ने तमाम अपने हमलों को रोक लिया, हम नहीं रोक पाएंगे, हमारी प्रायोरिटीज़ होंगी.
नो, ऐसे नहीं बोला मैंने.
नहीं, दैट्स नॉट व्हाट ही सेड.
दैट्स क्लैरिफिकेशन.
सो यही डर रहता है यहाँ पे मेरे को. जो बोला जाता है और जो समझा जाता है थोड़ा गैप आ जाता है कभी कभी. सो अच्छा हुआ आपने ये क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया. मैंने ये नहीं बोला. कैपेबिलिटी है, नंबर्स इज समथिंग. वी हैव मच बिगर कंट्री, यू मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो राइट डाउन टू द डेप्थ it may not be possible to do everything. So that is how we live. We have to do क्या बोलते हैं, cost benefit analysis of everything.
तो मेरा सवाल इसी से रिलेटेड है कि क्या आपको लगता है कि हमें अपने एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम को और ज़्यादा प्रोक्योर करना होगा, हमें उसको बढ़ाना होगा? क्योंकि जिस तरह से हम इजराइल की ज़मीन पर देख रहे हैं कि दे आर हैंडलिंग 3 काइंड ऑफ एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम. आयरन डोम की चर्चा हो रही है, लेकिन डेविड स्लैंग भी हम देख रहे हैं, एरो भी देख रहे हैं. तो हमारा एनिमी भी कैपेबल है कि हम पर इस तरह से सैकड़ों मिसाइलों के ज़रिए हमला कर सकता है और उसके टारगेट्स को हम इंटरसेप्ट कर पाएँ और अपनी कैजुअलिटी को बचा पाएँ. तो आपको लगता है कि हमें और ज़्यादा एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम पर इन्वेस्ट करना होगा? आगे हम कुछ फ्यूचर प्लान कर रहे हैं ऐसा?
या तो एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम हमें चाहिए और उसके लिए प्लान ऑलरेडी है. वी आर ऑलरेडी प्रोक्योरिंग. लाइक कुशा सिस्टम है जो डेवलप हो रहा है, विच विल बी अगेन अ लॉन्ग रेंज सिस्टम. वी ऑलरेडी हैव अ प्लान टू बाय 10 यूनिट्स ऑफ दैट. तो सिमिलरली ये क्लोज इन वेपन सिस्टम की बात करी मैंने, एक इंटीग्रेटेड एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम है जो. तो ये सब प्लान्स ऑलरेडी इन प्लेस हैं. यस, फ्यूचर में ये पुराने होते जाएंगे जैसे जैसे उनको फेज आउट करना पड़ेगा. जैसे अभी पिछोरा है हमारे पास, ओसा के सिस्टम्स हैं, ये सब पुराने होंगे तो उनकी जगह हमें नए खरीदने पड़ेंगे, तो रिक्वायरमेंट विल कंटिन्यू, हमें और खरीदने पड़ेंगे.
Sir, this is Ritu Sharma from the Eurasian Times. My question is very straightforward. So you have been saying that if today, let's say, we assume that MRFA are signed, the deal is signed, we'll get it in another 6 or 7 years. So the question is, why do you need MRFA if you're going to get LCA Mark II then? So what is your raison d'etre for that? And secondly, if you look at the Western countries,
One question.
Sir, everybody has asked to, at least, please. So if you look at the Western countries, they give very alarming reports about the military growth of China. But Indian officials have always been so confident, that we can take on the challenge. So could you tell us that what is the origin, or where does this confidence stem from? So why do we think that we can take on China, if the need be?
I think I've made a mistake. आपने मेरे रूल ब्रेक कर दिए, दो क्वेश्चन पूछ के. ओके, पहला क्वेश्चन क्या था, मैं भूल गया हूँ. So see, you are saying that it will take 7 years. 7 years is for the entire supply to come. And as far as Mark II is concerned, 2027 end, December is supposed to be their end of R&D. Thereafter the production will start. We had LCA Mark 1A starting production in delivery in 2016. July 2016, I was posted in AST when the first induction took place. And today is 2024, and we have how many aircraft? 38 aircraft on our strength. So I'm just leaving it for the audience to understand. So while Mark II is very important to us, because this is again indigenous aircraft, सबसे बड़ा यही उसका जो एडवांटेज होगा वो ये होगा कि ये मार्क II जो है, वो जो मार्क II हमारे को 7 साल बाद मिलने वाला है, वो मार्क II आज के रफ़ेल, इफ़ आई कैन जस्ट कंपेयर, से बेहतर नहीं होगा. उस क्लास का होगा, किसी चीज़ में स्लाइटली बेटर, किसी चीज़ में स्लाइटली लेस, लेकिन वो हमारा अपना होगा. और कल को अगर कोई मेरे को नया वेपन डालना है उसमें, we will be able to integrate that weapon because I have the technology with myself. When I say I, means the Indian entities. This is the difference why we want indigenous systems. However, indigenous systems are coming at a pace that at the moment that we need to plug this gap. Immediate requirement is to have certain ready-made systems. So we are looking at Make in India for that purpose, that at least most of the things will be made in India and the technology will be available with us to be able to do something about when we have to integrate new weapons. Jaguars we bought from outside. Thereafter we started manufacturing in India, in HAL, and we have done so many modifications on that, so many weapon integrations on that because HAL was doing the license production. Similarly with Mirages, after we have done the upgrade in India, the overall and the upgrade in India, we are able to integrate more weapons in that because we have learned the technology. So from that point of view, even MRFA, whichever aircraft, it will be of something like Rafale class because our requirements remain the same. So that will have that indigenous content in it and हमारे को वो confidence रहेगा कि हम उसमें अपने weapons लगा सकें. दूसरा क्वेश्चन मैं भूल गया. So you want us to be underconfident? What is it? No, so the fact remains that we have done our analysis. Yes, I'm not saying that we can, we don't have a design to go offensive unnecessarily, isn't it? Only when we are pushed will we be doing something. So we have our plans in place. One place we can positively say we are training much better than them. We have exposure much better than them because we do come to know through our sources how they train, how many different air forces they interact with and how many do we interact with. So I'm very confident that as far as human angle is concerned, as far as our people behind the machine are concerned, we are way ahead of them. As far as technology is concerned, we may be not so good as of now. We have lagged. We were better than them in technology also some time back, but we have lagged in that and we need to catch up. As far as production rates are concerned, we are way behind. We need to catch up with them. And that will happen over a period of time. It cannot happen overnight.
Thank you, sir. Sorry. On veterans' right.
So since I am also going to be one very soon, so granted.
Last question, sir.
Hello. Sir, everybody's already congratulated you. You can take it for granted that my congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody is sort of there has been a sort of impression that HAL makes the same old excuses, and as a result of which production gets delayed. But I found that HAL actually comes up with new excuses a lot of the time. It's not the same old excuses. Has you, at this point in time, there's a change in leadership in HAL also underway. Have you sort of thought about and put into any form of action the posting of an Air Force officer, either serving or retired, as HAL's chief? If you sort of have so many problems with one organization, it would make perfect sense for you to try and gain control of that organization, and then things might go your way. What are your views on the sort of nomination of an Air Marshal as chief of HAL?
Sir, thank you very much for your advice, sir. Now, I would like to place on record one thing. We do not have a problem with HAL, firstly. Secondly, I personally do not believe that, that organization doesn't want to do something and giving excuses. There are genuine problems. There are genuine problems that HAL also faces. Okay, so, and because if it is an Indian entity, I will take it for granted that उसमें भी उतना ही देशभक्ति का जज्बा है जितना हम में, उसमें भी हर व्यक्ति उतना ही काम करना चाहता है जितना हम करना चाहते हैं, तो वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. पर ये जरूरी है, ये भी सच है कि उनसे काम हो नहीं पाया अभी तक, जो भी प्रॉब्लम रही हो. सो वेदर दे आर एक्सक्यूजेस और रीजंस, I think we from outside are not in the right place to say that. So I would like to reserve my opinion on that. But yes, having people positioned there at the right seniority who can coordinate between the requirements of Indian Air Force and also certain issues that need to be resolved, it will always help. We are trying to have the system in place. At the moment, our deputy chief does that job to some extent. We have a project management team available in Bangalore led by an Air Vice Marshal who is also reporting to deputy chief, and they are doing regular interaction with HAL to resolve issues. There are many places where, since I am not into that profession, I get a feeling that they are not able to handle things. But maybe I am wrong, because I myself am not a businessman or a person who runs an organization which is into manufacturing and dealing with industrial practices. So maybe I may not be able to comment correctly on that.